Hello and welcome to Chair Yoga. This class is offered for people with a limited mobility, limited maybe from the waist down. So the movements for this Chair Yoga class will be um, all from the upper body up into from the waist up, and use of the arms and moving the head and the neck around. So if that's suitable for you, welcome, and I'm glad you're able to join me. So sit up tall, and I've actually used a little support from my chair to bring myself away from the backrest, have some support, but it just forces a little forward movement. So if that's available to you, and if you have that capacity to come away from the backrest so that you're not in a lean back position, so that your body is more, your spine is more vertical and upright. Some kind of support like that might be useful for you. So you might pause, get that kind of props and help available for you, and then we can resume. I think you might find it supportive in creating a more upright position of alignment with your spine. So let's begin. I encourage you to close your eyes as you begin. Closing your eyes will help you to transition, kind of move you out of the general awareness, the external awareness of the room you're in, the activities you've been involved in, the people you've been chatting with, and all of that, and focusing yourself more from the inside out. So we come from an external point of view to an internal point of view. So eyes closed really helps with that. Sit up tall, use the strength that you have available to lift and lengthen the spine as best you can. So it feels like to you, you're coming into a place of right alignment. We might more commonly understand it as just that you're trying to use good posture. So lifting and lengthening through the spine as best as you're able. And a little support is kind of beneficial. So if that is something you're using, don't hesitate to let that be a good source of support. Next, we're coming into breath awareness. So I want you to start noticing that how your body moves while you breathe. So bringing your inner awareness, eyes closed, so you can really focus on the physical experience of breathing now. Obviously, we breathe all the time without any mind to it at all. But one of the primary objectives for a yoga practice is to change all that and bring you into a very mindful awareness of your breathing process. As a matter of fact, you start to take over. You start to breathe right on top of what's automatically happened for you. You're steering the breath in some way. Maybe you can think of it as controlling your breath in some way. So it's a good place to start, that you just start to notice it in your body. And I want to encourage now that as you start to participate in the breath practice, that you find a full breath in and a full breath out. Draw as best you can a full breath in and a full breath out. And using the words, what I just said, full breath in or in and out, the language that we use in yoga about that is called a mantra. So some words that help your mind stay focused on what we're doing. So just literally saying in and out, or really paying attention to my voice as I say full breath in and out, so that your mind starts to calm down. The chatter of the mind starts to settle a bit. That's going to be a real important part of your yoga experience, is to recognize and realize the quieting of the mind as we breathe in and out, sitting as tall as we are able, lifting and lengthening through the spine. Start to notice how your rib cage is a part of the breath experience, and see if as you breathe in, you're feeling it expand. It's like you're allowing and encouraging an expansion of your rib cage with that inhale now. Full breath in and expand, full breath out and release. So that's how you might feel your body moving. Full breath in, expand, full breath out to release. Relax your facial muscles. If you've got tension across your eyebrow line, if you've got tension in your mouth or your jaw, we often do, so no judgment about that. We'll just notice that and soften and release that. it might be a real habit for you. So throughout the practice today, whenever you detect that, and I'll remind you now and again, you soften it, release it, no judgment. It's just kind of curious, like, didn't even realize I did that. But we don't need it. It's not going to help us in our yoga practice to have tension in the face. So let's let it go. I like to start every class with setting your intention. So you might ask yourself, what did I come here for? Wonder why I tuned into this. In other words, what do I need from yoga? This is an inquiry for you and you alone. Just stay with that a moment. See what shows up. Can't answer it wrong. So just see what shows up. I use a mudra. That's a hand position. I'm throwing out all of these yoga terms, but a hand position like opening your palms. If you have that capacity that you're able to just open your hands like you're receiving, this is a position of a gesture, if you want to call it that, of receiving, and use that to remind you that what am I here to receive? Wonder what yoga is offering that I might receive today. That's a good way to approach setting your intention. Just find that breath again. Feel the rhythm of your breath in and out. And if nothing's coming to mind, if you're feeling this to be a little off-putting, you don't know what I'm talking about, let that go. Over time, this intention setting might become very, very readily available to you. So you can just wait until that arrives. But for now, just know that we have, generally speaking, an intention to receive what we need for our highest good. And we're going to use this ancient tradition of yoga maybe to bring us to some part of that. Let's open the eyes now. Get used to the light around you. Get used to the back to having the external representation here so that you can still stay focused on what we're doing right here, right now in your yoga practice. This is going to be about a 30-minute movement and relaxation practice. So you can just plan on that. That we'll do some movements, always the breath work. And at the very end of class, we will have what we call shavasana time, which is basically a meditation time. So you'll know what to expect. So let's begin with moving the shoulders. There's going to be a lot of moving the joints. So let's start by lifting the shoulders up and then down. So you're just shrugging and releasing, just to feel that in your body. And then let's connect it to the breath. Inhale as you shrug, exhale as you release. So inhale, shrug and squeeze, exhale, release, and keep that up. It's called vinyasa when we connect our breath to our movement. So if I throw that out and I forget to explain it, you'll remember perhaps inhale is doing one thing, exhale is doing something else. Let's inhale, shrug the shoulders, exhale, relax the shoulders. So the movement is really in sync with your own breath. So don't try to match me. Don't just study what I'm doing on the screen. Just really trust that your body is going to give you all the information you need. How long does it take you to inhale? That's how long you'll hold the shrug. How long are you able to get that exhale to last? Because the longer, the better. So you'll just find your own rhythm as we move into starting now with the shoulders. Last time, inhale, squeeze like crazy, hold it as long as you can with a real squeeze, and then release and feel the softening of that. I want you to turn your head from side to side. Go very slow. We're going to keep turning one side and the other, so it doesn't matter which side you start with. Keep your arms pinned into the sides of you. Pin your arms into the sides as you turn your head from side to side. Now, what we need here is a neutral movement of the head, a neutral position of the head. So that means your jawline is parallel to the floor below. So you're not lifting your head up, you're not lifting your chin, you're not tucking your chin down. You're trying to keep your head level, and we're going to call that our neutral position. So let's start by just turning from side to side, and you know what you're discovering here is a range of movement. I want you to go as far into that as possible. find the end, find the stop sign in the movement. That's when you stop. So don't be afraid to push right up to the full range of movement that you're experiencing. Neutral with the way you're holding your head. Now let's do this as a vinyasa. As you turn your head now, inhale, doesn't matter which side. And as you come back to center, you exhale. As you turn your head, you inhale. As you bring yourself back to center, you exhale. So it's just that simple. Turn as you inhale, big long inhale. Exhale, release. Go as far into it as you can the other way. That's all of taking place with your inhale. And exhale, release. Keep going. You got it. Now, as we come back to center, let's try a little tilt of the head. It's sort of like your ear is trying to stretch towards your shoulder. So instead of turning, it's more tilting. Now, try not to raise your shoulders to meet it. It's just you're tilting your head in the direction of those shoulders. So you're not trying to cheat here by, raising your shoulders up. Keep your shoulders neutral and just tilt your head in that direction. And again, we're just exploring range of movement. What's available here today? It could vary from day to day. So tilting your head in a way that it feels like you're drawing your ear toward one shoulder, and then you're going to draw the other ear toward the other shoulder. Now we're going to do something with the eyes. So the next time you tilt your head, doesn't matter which side, turn your eyeballs. Your head is tilted one way, so that's kind of a downside. That's the downside. I want you to turn your eyeballs toward the downside. So you're going to be changing, not the change of your face, not the position of your face changes, just the eyeballs. Roll inside your head to look down in that direction that you're tilting. Yeah, that's it. That's what you're doing. Now breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Try to relax your shoulders as much as you can and find the fullness of your breath return. Big breath in and big breath out. Bring your eyes to neutral. Bring yourself upright. I want you to shrug and release a little bit. So sort of reset the body with what we learned about shrugging. And then we tilt the other way. Now go the other way, tilting, and look down with your eyeballs on the other side. So you'll be rolling your eyes toward the other side of you. And it's just the eyeballs, not your face is turning. You're just rolling the eyeballs down toward the other side. Now go back to finding your breath in and your breath out. This is super good for you. I know it's probably boring, but I'm telling you, this movement of the eyeballs matters. Deepen the breath. And then let's bring our eyes back to neutral, bring our head back to neutral. And now to reset the body, I want you to go back to turning the head. And let's do this as a vinyasa. Inhale when you turn your head, exhale when you bring it back to center. Inhale, turn, exhale, center. Good. Let's try reaching up now. We're going to get the arms and the shoulders involved. So just want you to alternate from one arm to the other, reaching toward the sky. Keep your head neutral for now. And if for some reason, different capabilities and mobility challenges that we might be looking at, you might decide, well, it's going to work better if I can kind of latch onto something, hold on to my chair, and just stay with one side at a time, because then I've got the stability I need. So that's a great adjustment, maybe. That's a great adjustment for you. So alternating, if that happens to be available to you. But otherwise, you just do one side for several movements, and then you do the other side. Set yourself up for the stability you need. Here's what we're going to add to this. So we'll stay with it a little bit, is raising the head to look. So you might try to just lift up and look up. And you hold it for the full length of your breath. So let's say we lift up, we're taking our inhale. Make sure you're completely done with that inhale before you bring your arm down and your head down. So full inhale, exhale, completely release it before you start over on the other side. That takes some discipline. So I'm just warning you, it's not as easy as it seems. You're going to really discipline yourself to stay with the full breath in, come to neutral, and go with the full breath out. So don't be in a hurry. Inhale, full breath in, and then the full breath comes out. Remember, one side at a time is fine. So that's just a modification you're choosing to make, and you'll figure it right out about how to even it up so you feel like you've done about the same amount on each side. Last time on each side, so finish it up. I'll give you a minute to feel like you've finished up. Not a lot of warning there. So let's finish it up on the movement of the arms up. And now we're going to push out. So the alternate movement is just letting our hand push away from us. So it's not just the fingertips reaching out, but it's the palm of the hand reaching out. And let's get real specific. I didn't start out very specific at all, but see if you can bring your arm out in front of you within the frame of your shoulder. So it's straight out in front of that shoulder. Soften the mouth, relax your face. So in other words, we've gotten into also the shoulder joint continues to be moving, but now the wrist, you flexed your hand. So you've got a little flexation in your wrist. Next time you got that hand out, I want you to drop the fingers down and raise them up. Drop the fingers down and raise them up. So just keep that arm elevated. It takes some strength. You might have to lean back into the chair for some more support. And let's switch hands. So it just pushes out with the palm of the hand. And now we drop the fingers down, raise them up, drop the fingers down, raise them up. Last time. And we'll bring our hands to our lap and reset. Now, if there's some adjustment you need to make because you were lifting yourself up in a way that wore you out, just take a moment now. Get the adjustment. Perhaps you're leaning back into the chair. Maybe you got to wiggle around a little bit. We're going to move into the elbows. Let's start with a soft fist and just keep your fists in a soft, gathered together. So just because then I added the hands. So you got your finger joints. So elbows bent, and we're just going to lift that up. I've got a soft fist touching my shoulder up here, and I'm just lifting up. A modification that you might be using, or something, that adaptation I might be calling it, is that you hold on to the chair so that you've got the stabilization you need. So as you're moving this one elbow up and down, the other hand is busy keeping you nice and solid and stable in the chair position that you're in. Couple more. And let's release and relax. Again, reset the body, get the rest that you might need. Catch up with your breath. Maybe you found yourself, you weren't really breathing as deeply as you might, so catch up. And make a soft fist here. You're just touching your shoulder with your soft fist, and we're lifting that elbow up. So just the elbow rises. Keep your arm as close to you as you can. So rather than let it sail out to the side, bring it out front and up and down as close to you can as you can. So it feels like the elbow is moving right in front of you, up and down. So it's more specific. It takes more mindfulness now to direct this in a particular way. Relax your mouth. Find your deeper breathing now. Deeper breathing. And your breath might get noisy. That you're really feeling like you've got to have a stronger breath. Just encourage that. Don't try to discourage it by any means. Trust your breath. I'm grabbing hold now. If you're rested and able, grabbing hold of the elbows and just lifting up and down. Find a range of movements you're able to do. And again, if you always need to have one hand to stabilize, just have that one arm at a time in a horizontal position of your lower arm, and you'll just take turns. So you can just stabilize and take turns. Holding on to elbows if you've got that available. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Keep breathing, kind of stretching your armpits. So again, if you're at one time side at a time, think about it as stretching your armpits. So I'm doing both armpits at the same time here. You might be choosing to do one at a time. Feel like you're stretching and creating more space in the armpits. Armpit chest, we call it. And then release and relax. Go slow with the release and notice how you can feel the letting go in your body, how awesome that is, that you go slow enough that you can feel the release. I call it the experience of letting go. We're coming back to that position. So if you can, we're grabbing hold of our forearms, our elbows, to just move from side to side with our arms elevated like that. Again, one at a time works fine. So if that's a better choice for you, you're just doing one at a time. Maybe you do 5 or 6 going one with one arm and you do 5 or 6 going the other way. So it's sort of like you're trying to create this movement along a single plane. You know, you found the plane that you're working on and you're moving through that in a full range. Turn as much as you can, you know, freely turn your head, freely turn your shoulders. Can you feel the twisting action in your midsection? And whatever your range of motion is, that's your range. So you're just going to take that, meet yourself right where you are with gratitude about that, and just move within your particular range. Let's come back to center, relax our arms. Letting your hands rest in your lap is going to be more restful than if you, for example, let your arms come past your lap and they're just alongside the frame of the chair. So this is going to be more restful if you keep your hands in your lap. Let's take a moment while we're resetting to come back to the squeeze of the shoulders and release, the squeeze of the shoulders and then release. We're going to do some crisscross. Crossing through the midsection of our body is very helpful for the mind-body connection. So raising one arm up and crossing to the other side of your leg. So you go to the opposite side of you and just cross it over, lifting up on one side and crossing it over, bringing it up and crossing over. Let's switch. Just raise up, cross over to sort of outside of your thigh. You know, if I'm not naming any particular modifications here, don't let that stop you. You could just still create your own modification that you might need. But you're in any event, try to use this idea of crossing your one side of your body past the midline over to the other side of the body. We're going to do it again. So bring your hands to neutral, your arms to neutral, rest up. Make sure you've got a big hearty breath. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And let's go back to the first side and cross it, Pat, you know, right through that midline. You're going to go right through the middle. Keeping your head held high so you still feel like you've got good posture. Find your breath. Start to notice what it is like. It might be real different from what it was 5 minutes ago. So just pay attention to your breath. Really notice. It's a little twisting action. Last time. And then we're going to switch sides. Rest if you need to, no problem. Take your rest and you can catch up. I'm taking a breath in while I raise up and exhaling down. So that's the vinyasa I've created for myself. Inhale here, exhale as I cross over. You could choose a different way. Right past the middle and a little twisting action. I try to even it out, but I'm not perfect. So I'm going to give this my best shot that we're going to do it one more time on this. Cross it over and relax. So your arms are on your lap and you're just sitting tall. Maybe you lean back into the backrest. So you've got all the support you can. Deepen the breath. While we're resting up, we could do some movements of the head. It's the chin lifting up and then the chin tucking down. So it feels like, you know, you're moving your head, nodding yes, in this big exaggerated movement. You know, if you feel a really great stretch as you bowed your chin down, kind of linger there. Stay with that really good stretch in the back of your neck. Let's go for what feels good. Relax your mouth, relax that, all the muscles around your eyes. And go for a stretch here, trying to feel some stretch for the back of that neck. Good. And let's come back to what I'll call our neutral spine, our neutral position, often called in yoga the mountain pose. It's like as basic and as sturdy as you can get. So we'll call this our mountain pose, just sitting up nice and tall. Now, this time I want you to really pull your shoulders back. We've been lifting them up. I want you to bring your elbows as close to the back of your chair as you can. So, however you can get there, squeeze your elbows toward the midline back there. Maybe it's just pulling them back to the backrest. Find the movement that you can so you feel some movement now in your shoulder blades. You know, when we use the term the shoulder, it just means so much. It can mean right up here where we were shrugging. It can mean, you know, the top of the arms where the shoulder socket is. And now I'm talking about the shoulder in terms of the shoulder blades. So I want you to really squeeze your elbows toward the back so you can feel movement in your shoulder blades. Find that vinyasa, connect your breath to movement. Last time, squeeze, 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 hold it, really squeeze, and then soften and release. Now it's back to the head and neck. So I want you to do some circles. Go very slowly, very mindfully now. And let your chin kind of be the pointer. It feels like the movement of the head is centered in the chin, that the chin is really driving the movement. Go super slow so you can really pay attention to how it feels. Stay with the same circular movement for several circles. Pay attention like crazy. Don't hold your breath. Circle around. You're exploring a full range of movement in this circular fashion. Don't hold your breath. Be breathing now. Now, the next time your chin is down towards your chest, just take a little pause. And then this is where we're going to change the direction of the circle. Your chin is still doing the work. It's still creating the circular movement. Could be very different in this direction. So pay attention. Pay attention to what you're experiencing. And don't forget to breathe. Excellent. Let's bring ourselves back now to neutral. I want you to lean back into the chair. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth like a sigh. Ah, really make some noise. Seriously, make some noise. Take a big breath in through your nose and sigh it out. Ah, another one just like that. It feels like a cleansing breath, like a restart for a new breath. Ah, I'm going to ask you if you have this capacity to layer your palms onto your chest bone, to the breastbone, the sternum here. If that is creates less stability than you want, you know, maybe you can bring that to the belly instead. So whatever you can do to bring your hands to your midsection, find the spot that works good. Maybe you choose, I want a little bit of both. One hand at the chest, one hand at the belly. And then this is when we're going to close the eyes. So close your eyes here. Find your place of connection to the core of your body. So see if you can feel your breath not only from the internal experience of your respiratory system moving, doing its job, but literally your hands are feeling the breath from the outside of your body. Make it as big a breath experience as you can. As long as it feels relaxing, then you're right on. You're right on the target. Eyes are closed for a reason, because it brings you into a very personal, very intimate experience of this moment. Now stay with it. Make sure you feel very supported with the backrest, with the ways that your chair can support you. Make sure you're using everything you've got to feel very rested here. Lots of support. And then use your imagination now that you're somehow very aware of the space that surrounds you. The space that surrounds you, especially let's call it the space in front of your chest, around your shoulders, and around your head. Aware of by your imagination that you can somehow really detect that space. You're breathing in from the space and out again into it. And you might notice that the borders around you, the skin that serves as a border of your human body, and the space around you starts to soften. It doesn't seem to be such a hard border. There's a softening, almost a blending. Big breath in, big breath out. Feel the relaxation. Feel the ease in your body. Don't let your mind wander. No judgment about it. It's just what the mind does. But oh, yeah, bring yourself back. Use some words. Breathe in, breathe out. That's a great technique. It'll help you just give your mind something to do, and it'll quiet down again for you. It's worth your effort. Breathe all the way in, all the way out, and feel the space around you as a source of love and support, safety. Relax your hands back to your lap. We're going to introduce some movement now. Take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth, a big sigh. Flutter your eyes back open. Big smile on your face. Do you notice that when you turn the corners of your mouth up to a smile, you feel better? You feel good? Amazing, right? Oh, we got it right there at the tip of our fingers or at the, right in our mouth, that we can give ourselves a better feeling, a better experience. So remember that. Smile helps. Palms are going to come together in the prayer position. This is called the Namaste position. And that word is a way of recognizing and honoring the similarity between, all the people on this earth. So it's a recognition of oneness. So palms together, we bow to ourselves, we bow to each other. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining me. Gotta get glasses on to close this out.